सब में हो सहयोग भावना, सब में हो सहयोग भावना, सबको सब दे प्यार। सब चाहे तो सबके लिए हो सुखमय ये संसार, सुखमय हो संसार।
सब में हो सहयोग भावना, सबको सब दे प्यार। सब चाहे तो सबके लिए हो सुखमय ये संसार, सुखमय हो संसार।
सांसों के सहयोग बिना पल भर न कोई जी पाए। प्राण का जब सहयोग न हो तन माटी में मिल जाए। सांसों के सहयोग बिना पल भर न कोई जी पाए। प्राण का जब सहयोग न हो तन माटी में मिल जाए। आपस का सहकार प्यार ही जीवन का है सार, सुखमय हो संसार।
सब में हो सहयोग भावना,
जुआ नहीं है ये जीवन, कोई हारे कोई जीते। मिलकर ऐसा जियो कि सबकी हंसते गाते बीते। जुआ नहीं है ये जीवन, कोई हारे कोई जीते। मिलकर ऐसा जियो कि सबकी हंसते गाते बीते। धरती पर सबको सुख से जीने का है अधिकार, सुखमय हो संसार।
सब में हो सहयोग भावना, सबको सब दे प्यार। सब चाहे तो सबके लिए हो सुखमय ये संसार, सुखमय हो संसार, सुखमय हो संसार, सुखमय हो संसार, सुखमय हो संसार।
Shanti. Good morning, everyone. And welcome again today. We started reading this first part of the Murli yesterday, for those who were there yesterday. And just to recap a little bit before we start, Baba spoke about our 3 lines of fortune: being sustained, being taught, and being given guidance of Shrimat. And Baba explained us what this 3 lines means. And he wanted us to feel and to see if we are able to see these lines, not that he sees this line. And this is for each and every one of you. So we have these 3 lines of fortune. Are we feeling fortunate? Because if we are feeling fortunate, then only there will be self-respect. Baba took us through different homework that he gave us, and also we had our own homework of checking and seeing what is our aim, so that we can convert this process into a natural process, just like we naturally went and became body conscious. In the same way, now Baba has come and has taught us that I am a soul. So when I say I am a soul, I am a soul, I am a soul, how long will I continue saying I am a soul? I need a point where I become a soul. So I am a soul part should finish and I should be the soul. and then there is a natural process that happens after that. So today, mainly, we are going to go through the remaining part, the second part, where Baba is meeting different groups. We just finished the main part and we're starting the groups today. And the first group is Gujarat. So my own experience also, I have been to, I come from Africa originally, and I was having a fortune to be in Nairobi. And I saw how things work, like the ants, how the ants work. And most of the instruments there were originally from Gujarat. And it's amazing to see how cooperative they are. That's very, very well known way of working, and you can see it live when you go there, and of course in many parts. So Baba is remembering and acknowledging that. So Gujarat, there are many from Gujarat. It is their turn for serving. There are 4,500 from Gujarat. Congratulations to everyone. First of all, congratulations to you. It isn't congratulation just to the teachers. If there weren't cooperation, what would the teachers do? This is why all the children of Gujarat are being congratulated for the golden chance now, and also for their service. In the same way, always continue to move forward in self-progress and service. When someone says one thing, the other one accepts it. In this way, constantly continue to move forward with unity and determination. Congratulations, congratulations, Acha. Now, of course, Mumbai is known for being able to create big things, as Mumbai is very well known for. So those from Mumbai, stand up. Somebody mentioned 1,000 people took place. Acha, you have already received congratulations. Bab Dada is giving many thanks, giving many blessings from his heart on behalf of the whole Brahmin family and himself to both places, Gujarat and Bombay, Maharashtra, Bombay, Andhra Pradesh, and others. These blessings from the heart will constantly continue to increase zeal and enthusiasm in your heart. Are the pandas okay? All of you did very good service. The program of hundreds of thousands was successful with everyone's cooperation. Acha. So remember what Baba said earlier. Now Baba mentioned a little bit about this is not a business of give and take. We are here to give. So Baba now is talking to the business industry wing. Bab Dada is giving a special thought to the business wing because customers come to businessmen all the time to take something. Okay? Now see what is the consciousness of business, and Baba is inspiring the business wing to give. They themselves don't have to go anywhere. So whoever comes into contact with relationship with you, do you at least give them a message? Every businessman and industrialist can have this business card printed on which there could be a very good short slogan of knowledge. Let it have an address and an invitation in such a few words. Have all of you printed such cards? Those who have printed them, raise your hand. There are so many of you who have not printed these cards. Businessmen can do service while sitting at home. Then people won't be able to complain that they came to you as customers, but were not given a message. So Baba is subtly hinting to the businessmen that your actual business is service. Therefore, definitely have these cards printed. Print such beautiful cards that no one puts them in waste paper box, but keeps them carefully. Businessmen know very well how to make a bargain. A good businessman is one who doesn't send a customer away without making a deal. So, do you not enable them to make a deal with God? Do you just make them make a deal with clothes and things? Businessmen can make many souls cooperative, and from being cooperative, they will gradually become yogi. So each one of you has to make a list of cooperative souls this year. How many souls did each of you businessmen give a message to? How many souls did you make cooperative? How many souls did you make into easy yogi souls? Is this okay? Will you do this? Yes, Dadi. Tells you to increase the numbers. Therefore, each and every businessman can increase the number. Is this okay? Now, Bab Dada will also see the results. Don't think, what would Bab Dada know? Bab Dada sees everything. He can see everything while sitting in the subtle region. He won't even need to ask you anything. So you businessmen will perform wonders, will you not? Acha. It is said to those who do something good, may you have a rose in your mouth. It says in bracket, may what you say become practical. That's the meaning. So, Bab Dada says, let there be a gulab jamun in your mouth of every businessman. Do you have this in your mouth? Acha. Okay, sit down. So, Bab Dada very nicely is grooming each group. You see how Baba works. Eh? Now notice how Baba speaks to the sports wing. And it's so important and, such a simple message, Baba always has ideas, and that's what even Brahma Baba used to be very good in creating plans, in creating ways for service, like do anything but create service. So now to the sports wing, fun and games are also definitely needed. What games do you make them play? Do you just watch the games or even make them play the games? Everyone watches the games. Nowadays, everyone remains so engrossed in watching games. Bab Dada knows. Bab Dada knows. Acha, this is also very essential because nowadays souls have a lot of tension, and so there has to be some fun and games. Bab Dada has heard that a child abroad has invented a very good game for the children. Who made it? Bab Dada received this news and he liked it. Show it to everyone. Seeing this one's invention, the fun and games department should also create an invention in which there can be games and also knowledge. Even when you give the course, let it be in the form of a game. Okay, so now just check yourself. If you are a teacher, think about that. Think about giving a course, Baba says, in a form of a game. And this is what my attention usually is. We have to make things entertaining. Otherwise, things can get very boring sometimes. It is a good invention. Congratulations. Therefore, now create an entertaining program. Everyone has heard many lectures, but now invent something new so that people come even against their wish, and your brothers and sisters awaken. It is good that you continue to make plans and have meeting. Bab Dada likes these plans of the children. So this year, you also make something. Bab Dada remembers that in the melas of the early days, you used to have such things that people would automatically send others to go and see them. Therefore, now create such invention. Is this okay? Shashiben is in charge of this department and she is clever. She will do it. Acha, congratulations. And then Baba meets the education wing. Very short message. Baba says, importance is given to education, and this is why the government also takes an interest in education. And so all of you have had programs and also are also having programs on education. However, continue with them even more. Many souls can emerge through this wing. Acha. And Baba then met 125 people from abroad who have come especially for the meetings. So 125 people from abroad have come especially for the meetings. So what wonders will you perform? What splendor will you show when so many of you long lost and now found serviceable children of Bab Dada get together? You will do something new, will you not? It is good. All of you together create a powerful program. Do not make ordinary plans, but make powerful plans. First, everyone should become as powerful as a volcano. You should become this. Be as powerful as a volcano in your stage and in service. Create such an invention that it becomes a shortcut, because according to the time nowadays, the biggest problem for people is to make time. Okay, so this is another aspect. It should be entertaining. And now Baba is talking about it should be essence-full. So, some of you might be watching the TED Talks and things like that. It's not long, it's very short, but it is very essence-full. So in the same way, Baba is guiding them that, don't make it, overlong like we are used to, people don't have time for that. Yeah? Therefore, create some such plan. From your attitude, drishti, and vibration, they should understand that they could receive something here in a short time. Make a plan of serving like a magnet. Even if someone wants to move away, he should be unable to do so from a magnet. Okay, so you can see the same message from the sports week. Make it entertaining so that people would. And then Baba, remember, mentioned about the card. Make it attractive so that somebody will not throw it, make it something. So you can see the same theme building up, So it's all about advice on how to do service. Even if someone wants to move away, he would not be able to do so from a magnet. He would be pulled close from a distance. So create such new plans. You are double foreigners. Your instruments are dadis and didis. So double foreigners have lot of sustenance from dadis and didis. Your dadis and didis are all clever. Pandavas are no less. Look, 5 Pandavas are standing here. So what did the five Pandavas do? They completely destroyed the unlimited army. So the Pandavas are no less. Each Pandav is great. So you will perform wonders, will you not? You can create them in any way you want, whether it is through your attitude, your drishti, or your determination. Make a plan. Dadis, Didis, is this okay? The double foreigners are no less than the teachers of India. There are many of you, and so the wonders are already accomplished. It is good. First, create the plan, and the meeting that takes place in India will stud those plans with jewels. You create the outline, and those in the meeting from India will then decorate them with jewels and diamonds. Means that they will put it in a particular form where it can be presented then. You will be pleased to see all the children from abroad physically in front of him. Sorry, just jump a little bit. So, yeah, you create the outline, and those in the meeting from India will decorate it with jewels and diamonds. You will decorate them, will you not? Will you do this in the meeting? Congratulations, Bapdada is pleased to see all the children from abroad physically in front of him. How so many abroad are now ready. These are the special teachers to the others, these are special teachers, the others are many more. So, seeing the double foreigners, serviceable children, Bapdada is very, 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 very pleased. They think, why should we clap? Others should clap, should they not? You will give congratulations, will you not? You did well. You can applaud as much as you want. Then Baba is meeting double foreigners who came from 76 countries. So initially, those specially who came for the meeting, now Baba is meeting those from double foreigners from 76 countries who came. There was also the Kumaris retreat, the Kumars retreat. The Kumars have applied a good symbol. Has the youth group created a new plan, or are you still thinking about it? You too claim the World Cup of the Brahmin world from the Brahmin family. Those from Delhi have not made any plans of programs for the youth. Those from Delhi stand up. Those from Delhi have to gather all the Kumars and youth from the world, select them and enable them to receive the World Cup from Brahmin world. You are going to do this, are you not? You have the courage to do you not? Make plans. You can do this. The Prime Minister and the presidents are in favor of the youth. Now, in the world, according to the present time, there aren't just cricket games, but another game is also taking place. On one side is upheaval, and on the other side is stability. So there is full force on both sides. Okay, there is a force of those in upheaval, and also the force of those who have the unshakable stage. Therefore, according to the present atmosphere, you can take benefit, make a plan. You will have a meeting for this. Will you not? Make a plan in that. Those from Delhi, very good. Youth, think about this. You must also make plans. Begin to relate them and let those from Delhi also begin to make plans. Show wonders. Victory is yours anyway. Acha. Then Baba meets Kumaris in training who have come from Ahmedabad. What are you Kumaris thinking? Kumaris are very lucky. As soon as you surrender, you are called Didi. And look, you have such fortune that by becoming a teacher, you receive a chance to read Bapdada's Murli. You receive the gati of the Guru. Bapdada calls the teachers Guru Bhai. Those next in line to become Guru are called Guru Bhai, who are one who is equal to the Guru. So you will become like that, will you not? Are you still in training, or have you finished your training? You have completed it. You are now living at the centers. Congratulations. Look, become such teachers that everyone says a teacher should be like this one, a selfless server teacher. There are many teachers, but you become a teacher who is a selfless server, humble and easy-natured. Now, Baba is explaining in details, then, what more, one can explain, like, such in a loving way. And just in 2 sentences, Baba described what should be an attitude of the teacher. Everything is mixed in that 1 sentence. Humble and easy-natured, you will become like this, will you not? It is good. You have zeal and enthusiasm. It is not that you will become successful. It is not that you will become successful. You already are. Acha. Now become stable in the stage of the sun of knowledge in a second and spread the rays of all powers to all the souls who are in fear and upheaval. They are very afraid. Give them power. Spread vibrations. Okay, so everybody remembers our homework from yesterday. So this is very similar to that. Acha. Now, Bapdada has received many letters and emails from all the children everywhere. Each one says, give my remembrance to Baba. Give my remembrance to Baba. Bapdada says, the love and remembrance of every loving child has reached Bapdada. Even while sitting at a distance, you are seated in Bapdada's heart. So all of you who have said, give my remembrance, that has reached Baba. This love of the children and the love of the Father is making you children fly. Acha. To all extremely fortunate children everywhere, to the handful of special souls out of multi-million, to the serviceable children who constantly stay in their self-respect and give regards to others, to the souls who are always an embodiment of remembrance and thereby an embodiment of power, to the children who are an embodiment of all powers and are always seated on the unshakable and immovable seat. Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Then there's the last little part where Baba is speaking to Dadiji. Bapdada is especially pleased with you. Why is he pleased? This is very nice, and this is a message that we often tell the children, that they have done very well or is very good. But this is another way of, when you want to praise something, when you want to acknowledge something, you should say why you're doing that. So Baba is using the same method here. Why? He said, okay, Baba is pleased, but why? Why is he pleased? He is especially pleased that just as Father Brahma used to order everyone, you have to do this and you have to do it now. So you have followed Father Brahma in that. You too are with me. That is true. Dadi said, you too are with me. So not taking that just credit by herself, because Dadi used to be a power. Whatever she would say, children would implement. So she said that you two are with me. That is true, but you become an instrument. You became an instrument, did you not? You had such determination that there was success everywhere. This is why you are filled with a lot of incognito spiritual power. Your health is fine. You are filled with so much spiritual power that you're so much filled with a lot of incognito spiritual. Sorry, you're filled with so much spiritual power that your health is nothing in comparison. It is a wonder, is it not? Then somebody mentioned about this. Gujarat had a program, Bombay had another program. Now Punjab and Madras are going to have similar programs of hundreds of thousands. Calcutta will also do this. Dadi Nirmal Shanta says, you simply sit down on the chair and don't do anything else. Everyone will be cooperative with you. So this is to Dadi Nirmal Shanta. Everyone will make the preparation by themselves. I will make Baba sit there. And then Baba replied, together with Baba, you also sit there. Both will sit there. How will Bab Dada's program continue next season? It will continue as it has been doing. Meetings with Baba will continue. Now it is a question of just this 1 year. Next year, Baba will tell you about next year. Seeing the Dadis meet Baba, everyone feels, if I were a Dadi, I would also meet in the same way. You too will become a Dadi. Bab Dada has created a plan in his heart. He has not yet given it to you. So the gathering of those who are original jewels of service from the time of Brahma Baba's Sakar days has to be made strong. When will you do this? Somebody asked. When you do it. So somebody asked Baba, when will you do this? And he said, when you do it. This is your duty. And then to Dadi Janki. You too have this thought in your heart, do you not? Just as the gathering of unity and determination of you Dadis is strong, in the same way the gathering of the original jewels of service should also be just as strong. There is a great need for this because service has to increase. So the power of the gathering can do whatever it wants. The 5 Pandavas symbolize the memorial of the gathering. They are 5, but they are the symbols of the gathering. Acha, those who have been engaged in service at the centers from the time of the Sakar Brahma's days, stand up. Those who are staying at the centers, there are also brothers in this group. There cannot be salvation without the Pandavas. There are few here, but there are many more. It is this one's duty, Dadi Janki, to get the gathering together. This one, Dadiji, is the backbone. There are very good jewels, Acha. Everything is fine no matter what. Continue to do what you continue to do. There is greatness in your gathering. Your fortress is strong. And it was a time of Holi, so they played Holi with Bab Dada. They sprinkled one another with a lot of rose water, and afterwards Bab Dada gave all the children remembrance for the festival of Holi. All the holy children everywhere are celebrating the festival of Holi in the company of God. You have zeal and enthusiasm. Constantly maintain this festivity and enthusiasm, and every day will become a festival. To stay in enthusiasm means to celebrate festival. So all of you have enthusiasm, do you not? So you are holy and you are celebrating Holi. always stay in the holy of the color of God's company. Acha. Om Shanti. So now we'll have some time for reflection. And what I would like you to do also, apart from whatever you've heard yesterday and today, whatever you feel that touched you, I would like you to think, what is it that you're going to do? So one thing is what you liked, what touched your heart. Another thing is what you're going to do in maybe the coming week. The week is starting. What you're going to do for the week, or if you have any inspiration. So let's pause for a couple of minutes and then we will discuss. Okay, so maybe first we can hear a little bit from you. It's your turn now. And then we will do a little bit of churning.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba. And as a continuation of yesterday's Murli, today was actually for me a practical manifestation of what we can do to make yesterday's Murli work. And the points that I have picked up is one is that in our own practical way, using printing cards with beautiful messages and using short energy modules, because people don't have much time now, to make sure that the message of Baba is relayed to all, so that the vibrations of the entire universe are at a different level. The strategy is like, I did start last year the Universal Prayers group, where I'm doing only a 30-minute meditation, and now, which is carrying on with Baba's grace every day from the last 1 year now.
Wonderful.
So what I plan to do now is I will make 5 minutes and 10 minutes small modules, which people can maybe, at least my friends, because start with a small circle and do something which just energizes them, something which helps them to feel calm and peaceful in whatever they're doing, and they can be connected to Baba's name. This is the thought that came to me, and I know if a thought comes, Baba will make it happen.
Beautiful.
So thank you, Baba, and I'm sure this will happen too. Om Shanti.
Yeah, very practical. As we said, it's very good to be inspired and to be, to like things, and then, let's not keep it to the level of the thoughts, and we have to apply it. And Baba has unlimited the ideas, and of course, children also have to have the same. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. In continuation to what Harpreet Ben just mentioned, and we connect the dots from yesterday's Murli to today, where Baba has mentioned that don't keep things in your thoughts. Sochna Swarup nahi bankar, Smriti Swarup or Samarthi Swarup bano. So make it to be a part of your awareness, and that will become the power and have the embodiment of all of that. So what I was getting while we were listening to the various groups that Baba was speaking about today, that become a magnet, and he's given practical examples to each of the groups. So when I connect to the business group, what I was getting was there's one way to do the business is what is there in for me. What am I going to be getting out of doing a transaction?
Yes.
But when I shift this to how am I going to be serving to the other person who's connecting with me? So if I relate to the area of business that I belong to, which is serving human beings by supporting them to take up a job, because I'm in the business of recruitments, what I was getting was whether a person gets a job through me or not, but he gets contributed to take up something which he has never seen for himself while he's looking at his career. That's one step to be in service, even while I'm doing a Lokik responsibility to be fulfilled as in the job. When it goes to any relationship or any conversation that I'm doing with people who come in connection with me, are they set free to be served and contributed? Are they getting anything from our conversation for them to take it back? That's the place that I would want to take it up, an ongoing practice, that being of service and contributing. Om Shanti.
Yes. Beautiful, and that's the essence of I think the whole knowledge and the whole service should be based on this. And I have a little example on that. I do spiritual coaching, and so I have a chance for double service. One is Baba's service, and also my work also is service as well. So I was very reluctant, when it came to advertising my work, because it didn't feel right, to market myself in this way. So I always want people to come rather than me going to them. And I was feeling like, I wasn't sure about this. So I was discussing with one of my friends, and he was suggesting that, one way is to think that, a person coming to you and then, you giving your service, as work, as business. But another way is to think that you are a server and you are looking for people so that you can serve them. And therefore, when I look at it in this manner, I don't feel that, I shouldn't reach out to people. But because, as I was telling you, the marketing that is happening now, I was very reluctant to do that kind of marketing. But then with this view in mind, a little bit echoing what Rakiben was saying, we are not taking anything. We are just here to give. And on that basis, the more you give, the better it is, isn't it? And so, it felt like, yes, I can go and I can tell people that, come. And come not because I want something, come because I want to give you something. And of course, Baba's children have so much to give. So that is a little thought that came to me. This Murli also kind of brings it to a nice context that we should do whatever we can in whichever way. Baba, by doing all this, is not needing anything, wants people so that, we can give them. So that was, I thought I will mention that. Any, yeah.
Om
Raki.
Shanti. Om Shanti.
Yes.
वो आपने क्या बोल रहा था कि try to give always. If something is going to come back to you, what you have given, then why don't we give all the time? अच्छा ही दुआ दे दो.
जी.
मेरा प्रोफेशन ऐसे है, बहुत मैं नसीब वाली हूँ क्योंकि लोग ढूंढ के मेरे पास आते हैं क्योंकि आई एम ए मेडिकल प्रोफेशन. वो टाइम मुझको इतना ही उसको सुनना है और अंत में ट्रीटमेंट से ज्यादा उसको थोड़ा सा बाबा के बारे में बोल के उसको बस निश्चिंत रहो बोल के कभी शांति से सबका दुआई तुम मांगो अपने लिए अपने आप से हो जाएगा बोल के भेजना ही मैं आजकल फॉलो कर रही हूँ. थोड़ा सा टाइम कितना मिलता है इवन तो मेरा वो सबको करने के लिए कॉर्पोरेट स्टाइल में बहुत कम रहता है. आपको पता होगा, आप बिजनेस बोल रहे थे. आजकल तो पेशेंट डॉक्टर रिलेशन कुछ भी नहीं रहा, वो तो कस्टमर और बिजनेस रहा है. फिर भी मैं थोड़ा सा मेरा अनुकरण से मैं उसको ये समझाना चाहती हूँ. अंत में बस हमको देना ही है और कभी अच्छा सोचने से भी हमको अच्छा कर्म वापस आएगा. ओम शांति.
जी, ओम शांति. और जो बीमार होते हैं वो सुनते ही है.
सुनते ही है. वो
you
तो
have advantage, yes,
ये एक बहुत एडवांटेज है. हम वो सीट में बैठे के टाइम वो क्या भी बोलो सुनते ही है. तो हमको बहुत बहुत पावरफुल पोजीशन लगता है मुझे आजकल वो, क्योंकि ढूंढ के आके सुनने के लिए आते हैं. बहुत टाइम ऐसे होता है, मैडम हमने आपके पास बस बात सुनने के लिए आए हैं, एक बार बोलते हैं ऐसे. ओम शांति. मैं इतना बोलना चाहती हूँ. आज बहुत अच्छा हो गया. Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah. Raki, when you were saying something?
Yeah, brother. Om
Yes.
Shanti.
Yeah.
I was getting present to while you said, there's always a doubt while you are doing a marketing for your own self that I don't want to be in the public media.
Yeah.
And as I discussed with you the other day, that the second area that I'm looking at is counseling, coaching, and facilitating.
Yeah.
And today Baba has put across as to how to make things entertaining.
Yeah.
And Harpreet Bennett also put across this point while she was sharing that make smaller modules, because the capacity of the other soul to listen to anything that we're talking about is very less, maybe only 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So whatever message that needs to be given is in a short span.
Yeah.
And then shifting the whole context of marketing to just telling people that I am available if you make yourself available to receive it,
Yes.
So that's a beautiful shift that I was getting present to while you shared your thought on marketing and how it got shifted. So thanks for that.
Yeah. There is one more thing that we make a mistake, and I thought maybe I can share that. Originality, creativity. A lot of people tend to copy what other people are doing. There's nothing wrong with that. But, sometimes a simple thing, but done with original intention and creativity brings better results, And I've noticed, those who do and go in this way, like be original, like create your own thoughts. Yes, we can follow the world and the trend in the world, but even in following, there can be some originality, and we are special souls, right? Baba says, no, out of multi-million, in that we are, just few. So, this creativity part and originality also should be there in our work. So this is one thought also you can maybe use if you find it useful. So let's hear
Indeed, it
from...
is.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is. It's quite powerful way to put it across. That's another point of this Murli where Baba says that be in your state of natural state and original
Natural.
state, and you rightly put across that 10 things happening in the same manner, but only those who do it with an original intention, it's been touched by people out.
Right.
So it may be a very silly example, but if we look at it, even in the musical world, the old movie song still touches our heart more than the new ones. We don't discount the new ones, but
Yes.
that had been my experience. It still is alive and evergreen.
Yes, that's true. Very true.
Last one point I want to clarify. You were telling like the business card and all. Hope I have understood it correctly. I usually put in my status, not for any commercial, because most of my patients and my friends wants to read my status. Before I used to make it as just a play, something like that. I used to put something very randomly. Of late, I became very serious when I understood that some 250-300 viewers are there for my status every day. And 2 days my status goes empty, and they will ask me again, one or two very familiar people, Madam, there will be a message, why you are not putting the status? We are looking for that. In that, what I am doing these days, just since about few months, I think 1 or 2 months, most of this one, whatever our Brahma Kumaris sayings are there, क्या भी देते हो दुआ ही दे दो, ऐसे कुछ शिवानी दीदी का या आपका सब कुछ उठती आता है, अटैचमेंट्स आता है हमको व्हाट्सएप में, मैं उसको डाल के मेरा पिक्चर के साथ स्टेटस में डाल रही हूँ, और उसके नीचे में फिर मास्क के बारे में डाली, मास्क यूज द मास्क, बी अवे फ्रॉम आईसीयू, लाइक दैट कॉम्बिनेशन कार्ड मैंने क्रिएट करके स्टेटस में डालती हूँ आजकल एक मुझे मालूम नहीं ये गलत कर रही हूँ या क्या कर रही हूँ.
No, गलत कुछ नहीं होता है. आप सही दिल से करो तो बाबा, you're doing it for Baba, so think of it like that, then सही गलत कुछ नहीं है.
होता है शांति.
Chalo, what about the others? Any thoughts from the others? What are you inspired to do? Let's have some some powerful thought that maybe you can share, so it will inspire others also. This is another point, don't be reluctant to share your thoughts, even they might be very basic, always share, because you don't know who you're going to touch with your thoughts, somebody will get an idea. So any other person would like to share, please? We have maybe 2-3 minutes.
Om Shanti. It's not easy for me to say anything on these things, because when I'm home whole day, if I was working, could I come with a lot of different things that I could have done differently. When the person is retired, I'm not sure how many people on the call are retired. The whole thing changes, especially for me. And the only thing that I do most of the time, whenever I meet people, when I go somewhere, I have an appointment with somebody, talking not much nicerly and having a smile on my face and talking to them, with the name and all that, that helps. It helps me, because that makes me feel better, and that probably makes them feel better. The other thing that I would suggest for the business, like we're talking about the cards, I'm sure that you guys probably everybody heard about the Chinese restaurant. They have the fortune cookies. There's always a message on those.
Yeah.
So something like that, it could be done. If, for me, there's no way for me to do any of that stuff, because I have no business or anything that I have to worry about that part. But that's just another idea if somebody's thinking about that terms, because if it's a one message on all the cards, I think at some point in time, probably it gets more like business selling point to me than really what the real message is.
Yeah.
But if there's a different message that people choose, it might be printed on, cards every month differently or something, that might work better. That's just, my input into this. But other than that, if anybody has ideas for the retiree people, I'm willing to listen and try. That's what I can.
Yes, this reminds me, I was in Oxford and there's a brother in Oxford there. And what he does is he always carries a lot of blessing cards. Now, blessing cards have different messages. You can download them online and you can print them up. And what he does is whenever he meets anybody, he just takes one card and gives it to them. And then he says a few words and then he goes. Obviously, you have to check if somebody is busy or what. But retired people can do the maximum service, I would say. So, and one way is to keep this, instead of business card, you just keep blessing card and you print them nicely. As Baba said, this is one thing very important. Don't just do it with a lot of heart. And nowadays, things can be done very nicely and very easily, So that's one thought.
Thank you.
Yes. Renuji, okay.
Om Shanti Baiji, thank you for the past 2 days. You are doing wonderfully with a lot of examples. My takeaway point, because for me, since the 23rd of last month, constantly there was so many funerals, family as well as very close ones. And what I realized coming to Baba, he has given a lot of stability because he keep reminding us to be humble and keep Baba in front. So I realized that this opportunity has given me a good stand to help them in their grief. So a lot of Brahma Bhojan, Bhog, and some tolis, and constantly when you give, you can see the stability in their mind, because most of them, even though relatives, because many are into Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Sai Baba, and some other things, they had always been feeling a bit not very nice being with Brahma Kumaris, because always it is celibacy, which they all know about. But now when things are happening, they can really see the stability in mind comes from this knowledge. From, Baba has given a lot of help to do seva. And I feel no matter what happens, we have to keep being with Baba, whether Amritwala, Murli, and any other like this Avyakt Murli classes, because the gathering gives us a lot of strength to move on also. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Wonderful. I'm so inspired to hear from you because, this is what actually practically needs to happen. The Murli doesn't need to be sitting on the table and on your computers and just in class. The Murli has to go to the people. And how you will take to the people is by this practical, you see, like we say about Mansa and we say about, that's very good. But then this has to translate naturally, and you are doing that. And I'm feeling so good that, many of you, and I'm sure all of you, those who shared and those who didn't share also, have this thought. So beautiful, yeah.
And Baiji, the best thing is, one of the funeral happened, death happened on Diwali day. Just imagine we offer book to Baba and we are getting this message. The person just fell from the stairs. Usually people just get hurt. Fell from the stairs and instant death. And the family was in real grief. And the next thing they remember is to call out to Baba. So I felt it was the best service. I didn't send messages of Deepavali greetings to anybody on that day because I was so busy with this family. And good thing is my family members also went and gave a lot of support, and they allowed us to meditate. We were surprised. We asked them permission, can we meditate? Say, sure, please go ahead. And they were all silent. So somehow Baba's message is going through everywhere. Thank you, Bhai.
Exactly. Wonderful. Okay, I think that's how much time we have for today. Would you like to do the announcement now? And we'll finish with a couple of minutes.
Yes, Arif bhai, I'll do the announcement. Okay, before moving towards meditation, there's an announcement for this Sunday, 5th December. We have a special session by B.K. Harsha Pallibai from San Francisco. The topic of this session is Read God's Mind through Murli. So we invite all the brothers and sisters of the Divine Family to join this session, and even other Brahmin souls are also invited. Spread this message as much as you can. Om Shanti.
So Om Shanti. So you've heard about the announcement and you can send it out again. That's part of service, yeah? Okay, so now let's try and absorb everything that we have been hearing since yesterday. And this is what I feel, it all starts from this, to create a feeling from a thought. When we learn the art of creating feeling from a thought, then meditation becomes very easy and we are able to create this deep connection with Baba. It's all converting thoughts into feelings, because feelings is what we remember. So let's try and do this. Just try to see if you can leave everything, whatever you've heard, whatever you have to do later, just for 2 minutes, allow that to just be on the side. And I would like you, as I'm speaking, to see if you can feel these things. And I usually use the mode of questions to create feelings. So ask yourself, how fortunate am I? Ask yourself, how fortunate am I that God Himself, Baba Himself, is my teacher. The one who everything belongs to Him. I made Him belong to me. How fortunate am I? There are so many in this world, and Baba chose me. I might not be special in terms of my wealth, in terms of my education. I might be just ordinary. But in spite of that, Baba chose me. Just feel this deep in your heart. If Baba chose me, then what do I need to do? When I look at Baba, what do I see? What do I think? How do I feel? I have to be the same like that. The mind might argue about how to achieve something. But this is not a business of the mind. This is the business of the heart. The heart does not know any limitation. If Baba is with me, impossible is nothing. Everything can be achieved. Because I am just an instrument. He's the one doing it. I just have to be available. I have to be open. I have to say Hanji. So keeping this in your mind, becoming aware of how fortunate you are, keeping this awareness, making it a natural awareness. Thank you and Om Shanti. Have a wonderful day and we'll see you the next time. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you,
Om
brother.
Shanti.
Thank you, all of
Shanti.
you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.